Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Emergence Days Invitational Season 2, Week 6 Grand Final. If you're looking for it, you're in the right place. Rise Nation versus NRG. Lando Sanders along with Ryan Fool Summers on the call as we enter into game number 2 on Exhibit, with Rise Nation currently in the driver's seat, up 1-0 as they locked up District 5-3 off the back of their young gun in Enzem, finishing off with a nice 40 bomb. Can they keep it up? Can Rise Nation walk away with the 2-0, their first Emergence Days Invitational title, or will NRG make it back-to-back? It's about to pretty much take shape as we're already loading in here for round number 1. Current advantage in terms of hills and score toward the side of NRG.
Looking good so far. Of course, NRG, they lost that district map last week, right? So they've started off in this similar situation where they've gone down 0-1 on that district map in particular, and then, of course, bounced back a number of times. So a team that brushes off losses, at least map losses, very, very well, right? Has short-term memory. So to see them trying to do big things on map number 2, look at that praise and explosive in your kill feed. As now they're hopping on that A hill, every single objective being touched in one way or another. Solars wins the fight up top against Drix. NRG continuing to get that 2 cap, no matter which side of the map it's on.
Just kind of see that focus, right, of those red arrows just instantly rotating from one perspective to the next, just trying to create chaos. Catch NRG off guard is unfortunately, for Explosive, his good old buddy Mental ends up having to revisit that respawn screen. Explosive does manage to dip out regardless of that. So in the meantime, Rise Nation reclaim control at B, keeping in mind, however, A still up for grabs, as that will be a big fight one for Drix. Ends up taking down Solars, so has the ability to recapture A. And I love what Rise Nation is doing. Pretty much they, like I said, walk away with one fight, instantly vacate themselves, and rotate to the next. And thankfully for Shock, he rotates, chooses correctly out of those 2 paths, and does not meet the barrel of Mental there.
And you can see they're still very much in this, right? You can see the top of your screen. If they were to hold this 2 cap now, they would be in position to win. So they have an opportunity to close this gap. But of course, the NRG off spawn are going to be fast and furious over towards that B hill. That's the first step right there, getting that kill up top. Now it's going to give them a couple pieces of extra positioning now as they're looking to potentially head even over towards the A hill and go for the break there. Vexi's trying his best to weather the storm. Detox is there for the kills as well. Rise Nation doing a great job of holding this. Vexi stays patient. Gets the kill, gets rewarded for it. Again, Rise needs to hold this 2 cap for almost the entire time, or get a good break on to see what the members of NRG are going to be trying their best to hop on whatever hill they can. And to Rise's credit, they're doing a great job of holding down the pushes on both hills, looking like they're in position now to hold this, and they even get the break on C. I am so impressed with what I just saw out of Rise Nation, holding down the push on both the home hill and the neutral hill to take that round.
I mean, talk to me more about it. What was the breaking force behind NRG losing the clear advantage that they had?
Yeah, I mean, they lost the 2 cap, and then you saw them go up top, and they got that kill onto Drix. Right, so Rise Nation was in position to win, but they had to hold a 2 cap for a really long time, right? So for NRG, you have obviously 2 options. You're going to go for the break on B, go for the break on A. They send 2 up top, they get the kill on Drix, and then those 2 continue forward. So they basically, and we couldn't see what their other resources down low were doing, but they went to go take those 2 and try to push over from up top and try to get that break on the A hill. But there was 2 members of Rise Nation there waiting. They win that fight over there, then flip it over to the B hill. They're trying to just dive bomb in there, get that 1 break. Rise's Lancers managed to stop them both at the 1-yard line there as well. So on both ends of kind of the objectives, Rise Nation was there, and they were just playing fantastic defense.
Came up clutch. Good stuff coming through from Rise, and that's the key that we talk about. Like we said, versus a squad like NRG, you can never take your foot off the pedal, because if so, and especially in the format now, right, no longer 1st to 7, now 1st to 5, it can start to get away from you quick. NRG starting to peel through the layers a little bit, tossing out that first flash. It does deem successful. A Shock meeting the barrel first. Enzem met with a flash and actually decides to take this, does not back up, and we'll see if it actually works out in his favor. As maybe both parties vending to separate. Enzem, though, is ready for the fight, and he wins it. Lovely sequence of kills coming in from Enzem as Vexi's currently down. Enzem starting to do some more work, shuts down Praise, and also takes down Mental. Lovely work. The young gun is proving his worth. And this isn't the first time, and I guarantee it's probably not the last, as that will be B back toward Rise Nation yet again. NRG, they have no answer for Enzem as of yet.
Loving what we're seeing after Enzem. Map after map, he is proving that he belongs on this team, making huge plays, hitting full spreads there too. I mean, just doing everything you want to see out of an up-and-coming star. And now Rise Nation, they find themselves in the driver's seat early. They played a lot of catch-up last round. This time they find themselves in control. Now let's see what NRG chooses to do. They tried to make that push up top last time. Obviously, it didn't work out so well for them. They have the break on B. It's a good start. Not able to get the full cap just yet. Graze gets one. I'm not able to get that full kill. The revive does come in.
Oh, Avexi.
And Avexi is stuck between 3 players of NRG, and
still
manages to get out, too. I mean, just...
Wow, he's not even full red.
Just being a little bit of a nuisance. Kind of waiting for his teammates to get some kills around him. Enzem gets one, but Avexi's finally does get dropped. Summons pushing. Enzem's going to get him again. The melee comes in, and Enzem gets the kill. Enzem has been having his way across the map. Detox also getting in the mix. Such a back and forth round in this middle area.
Oh my goodness, Enzem. I tell you what, he's definitely learning. He has a lot more children than he ever has before. There's a lot of people in Twitch chat claiming that he is in fact his father, rather. But regardless, Rise Nation putting down the flag at B. As Summons also falling, and NRG are just put in another position where it's back to the basics. It's back to the drawing board. They actually do lose Summons, so that it's going to be a 4 versus 5.
Yeah, and Mental's not spawning back in. Summons not spawning back in. They're giving this round up. Of course, you have to. Nothing you can do in the next 15 seconds. And a couple members on each team sitting at 1 respawn. But it is Rise Nation, who will have the 2-0 lead again. NRG's tournament life is on the line right now. Rise Nation, 3 more rounds. That'll give them the tournament.
And these have been very good rounds. Detox 14-4, Enzem 9-3, Avexi's I think that was 9-4. Nonetheless, like we said, it has just been the Rise Nation show. These have been close rounds. Obviously, I think if you had a whiteboard, I think that there would be markers everywhere after the first round, just in terms of influential moments, crucial kills. Despite that, though, the big plays coming through, like we said, from Enzem. You can't doubt it. Love to see what this guy's been doing so far. When he's been given the spotlight, he has been performing. But NRG, first 2 rounds down. I think it's fair to say this is a big one for them to take, just considering the way that the lives are currently allocated. I will say, Avexi's, Detox, both on 2. Pretty much similar situation for NRG in terms of how they have players on 2. It looks like 3 players currently on 2. Mental and Solars, however, pretty much up to standards.
That's going to make this initial so important. Enzem manages to get that revive in the nick of time. When 2 teams are kind of both low on spawns, the initial just becomes so important. Sometimes those lives are so much more impactful than those early kill caps. Utility being pushed back and forth. Then they're going to use that utility to just hold them off and then rotate over to push middle, help his teammates. Good heads-up play.
Going for that cover as well. Granted, they don't get the objective. I don't think that was their goal in the first place. It was solely about singling out players.
And Mental comes in. It looked like Avexi's had the play made. At the last second, it was Mental. 3 dead currently for Rise Nation. NRG definitely taking control of this 3rd round. Just take a look at the respawns. You're going to see Detox on 1, Avexi's on 1. On the other end, Prey sitting on 1. Everyone else on Rise, 2 or more.
I think it's kind of impressive as well that no one outside of Praise is on 1, considering you're down 2-0. It would have been long rounds as well. You'd like to think that a lot of respawns have been used, but it seems that that's not the case for NRG.
Yeah, you see them try to advance forward. NRG's built a pretty big lead so far, about 70, almost 70, 75 points. You've seen the kill feed. Mental still getting downs, picking up new utility. Things are still favoring NRG. Rise Nation's going to have to make a pretty big play. They're going to take this round kind of from the jaws of life. You see Detox airing over towards C. There's a member NRG there waiting. He's going to start with a break. And he predicted exactly where Solars would be. Unfortunately, he misses the shot. I know Detox would love to have that one back. That would have been so big. See what his teammates can do on the other end. Get some help on the summons. More members of NRG are going to approach. What can Shock do? He's going to get one. He's going to get traded, but Emergence is there. That's 3 dead right now. Praise would be a full kill. Rise Nation have a chance right now if they move forward. You're going to see Emergence's beeline is straight to the hills. Members of NRG know. He's going to be flashed off. They're going to be flashed off. It's a good break to start, but again, they have to do so much more. I just don't think there's enough they can do. Obviously, NRG is going to still be spawning so close to that hill, and they're up by so many points.
Yeah. The Detox.
Rise Nation, no reason to even put the spawns back in. Chalk the round up. NRG puts their first on the board. Everything else from here is just kind of for fun and for looks. There it is.
It's just the level of what it takes to win a round is so impressive because it really is just a number of different sequences. Then it just comes down to that one moment, that one team fight. It almost doesn't even, not that it doesn't matter because obviously there's so many different things that are kind of elevating to that particular position, but it really is just the clutch team fight. Whoever has been the strongest is usually walking away with it. That is a big round for NRG to take. I mean, going down 3-0 would just be so difficult, especially we talk about life count, what that could mean, etc. That would be massive if NRG could level this thing after the first half, make it all level at 2. Of course, Rise's goal is to do everything but prevent that from occurring, but here we go. Rise Nation trying to distance themselves as far as possible as Mental toward this outside hallway. Left to back up, full red. Inexplosive wanted to take their time. Actually, there's going to be 3 here. That fire is pretty much going to prevent him from having to back up. Mental in a situation where he needs to succeed. The knife misses, but the shot lands. And that is great play coming through from Explosives and Mental as they'll rush on through, take that advantage, and now Rise are left in an awkward spot. Detox already on his last life here.
Yeah, Praise on the 1 respawn. Definitely a player that Rise Nation would like to go for kind of a target on, but again, NRG looked very strong on that initially. Saw kind of the patience from Mental. Got that late flash in there, and his teammates did a great job of shooting together and getting those early kills. Seen a little bit of what we saw last round, right? NRG building kind of an early lead. Do that neutral hill cap, that home hill cap. Rise forced to make a decision. You can see them kind of pushing up top a little bit. You're going to see, I think it's Detox and Emergence. A nice little angle on the summons, not enough to get the down. And again, it's a decision to be made. There's one down. That could be the start of a push. Counter flash comes in, they go for the revive. That's 1.
Oh, from range!
There's that revive.
Through the knife.
It looked like a good opportunity for Rise to make that push. NRG, though, is there for the trade. Continuing to hold down that B hill. Their home hill has been broken, but that neutral hill has stayed strong. Next to make a big play, gets 1. This kill on Praise would be so big again. He's their lowest respawn for NRG. NRG's on all 3 hills right now. Rise can't get on any of the hills. That'll be game.
They
see it down.
They drop someone. It's actually going to be Explosive.
He's down in the hill. He's getting the cap being down, and no one's there in time.
They didn't finish off Explosive. They left him there.
I'm getting deja vu. That's what happened in the Ghost Gaming match. I think it was Hive Ghost Gaming. They left a member down in the same area. Why aren't people finishing the kills?
Oh my gosh.
He got the cap down.
That'll have to be like a separate analysis segment to just realize what was going on at that moment, why the kill was not finished. Explosive slowly but surely just crawling his way back and probably laughing in the comms in the meantime. It's just a small mistake. And we go from what could have been a 3-1 scoreline now back to level. We'll see if that frustration can affect Rise or if they'll just kind of move past it because, man, a lot of different situations where we've already talked about it. Man, if I could just have that moment again, what I would do. NRG capitalizes and they take advantage of the situation that is handed to them. Detox looking like a man more than one. The flashes are actually tossed out. Lovely. Actually affects Emergence, but he tosses out the ensign and takes out Mental. So despite the aggressiveness made from NRG, they will pay for it.
Good follow-up Lancer. End up getting the revive. You're going to see Emergence continue to push forward.
Oh
He's going to push right past Summons. Over to Explosive.
Was that call out even made? There's no
one
one
talking!
talking!
What is happening? Emergence is just running around the map. He's playing ranked, for God's sakes.
Oh
And he continues forward. Of course, these are long spawns. First round of the second half. Rise Nation starting off strong, but it's NRG now off spawn to decide where their move gets made. Of course, not enough of a wipe to go for that trip cap just yet.
I just feel like in that moment, whenever, and I'm not sure if maybe it was just a body block, but I feel like you have to call out Emergence, who is making that play. It could have just been
you got to imagine
lack of visuals.
Yeah, if your summons there, he's L trigger Lancer.
Right.
He probably isn't in his line of sight. Maybe just gets right past him. Luckily too. I mean, he would have got the kill either way, but explosive kind of back rolls just right. Boom. Couldn't. No way he was expecting that.
Sure. Just overall, regardless of the way that it panned out to be, you got to give props to Rise Nation. Like we said, behind enemy lines and making NRG feel so out of sorts. Definitely not as confident as Summons. First man in, he will instantly decap E. Trying to get that one back in their hands. There's lots of players down right now on the map. And there goes another, and another after that. Mental, lovely stuff coming through from him.
This is not good for Rise Nation. These are long spawns. They're going to hunt Drix to go for that full elim. They're on board for the trip cap. Drix can't get to any hills. No one's there. A huge blunder for Rise Nation. They had such a good lead.
It's kind of back-to-back rounds if you look at it.
Somewhat set up. Yeah, you can't afford to get a full wipe like that. I mean, obviously Drix stayed alive, but he's up top, not in a position to get in the hills. It's unfortunate. Mental gets a big double kill. And again, that's what this NRG team does, right? They have some of the clutchest players we've ever seen that can always pop off at any given moment. So it's made them so hard to beat over the course of kind of this dynasty, is the ability to make plays like that, to never be out of it no matter what the circumstances are. And I know Rise wishes they had that one back.
We've said that 3 different times throughout the game, and
yeah,
I think every time it's been an NRG round, except they were perfect, but that's the thing. It's so hard to be perfect, especially versus a team like NRG. This very well, like we said, and I say that very carefully, obviously. If everything goes right, well, of course you win a round, but still yet, just the very little sequences. Of course, Ryan's pointing out are the reason why the scoreline is what it is. But a lead change for NRG, the first time in this game. Keeping in mind that it is Rise Nation up 1-0 in this series. If you're just joining us, they did take District 5 rounds to 3. A new addition in Enzim, who has looked absolutely fantastic tonight. Enzim and Emergence, just in particular, have kind of been 2 guys, at least in terms of just the scoreboard, in terms of kills, who have just looked absolutely unbelievable. Enzim putting up 40 kills last game. That's the kind of fire that they need. That's the firepower that you have to have versus a roster like NRG.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we have kind of that stalemate situation. One move hunt up top. Now team has to decide where that move's going to get made.
Being so careful right now.
It's a good flashbang coming in. Enzem, chance to get one. The shot, unfortunately, whiff. Summons is there for the cleanup. Here comes Shock. Good trades. Be behind Mental right now. I believe Detox there. Unfortunately, Detox is getting flanked as well. Trades are going to start to come through. Explosive and Emergence get a trade. Now Shock. Going to get behind enemy lines. Going to get some shots in on Praised. Detox is there for the cleanup. Good teamwork coming in from Rise Nation. That's 3 dead on the side of NRG. 1 member up top, 1 member off spawn. Now, a little bit of a delayed initial. When the dust finally settles, it is Rise Nation once again with an early control of those objectives. Now this time, let's see if they can actually hold them.
Yeah, that's been the biggest key, is the early successes, but just the moment that strikes, and NRG is primed to take it each and every time. Like we said before, the score starts to get out of order. NRG are going to have to make the move, but where is that move going to be initiated? It could be started off by Praised in particular. Takes quite a few shots, obviously pinged as well. He's left to back up and pretty much just try to gain some information playing the scout role. E is kind of wide open in certain instances, but a fire team is just on the other side. That Lancer is greeted with Praise, tossing out the flash, actually ends up affecting himself. Rise actually have the ability to utilize those stairs to pretty much reference back and no longer take fire. NRG, in the meantime, they actually do successfully cap E, so little by little they take their advantages and they rock with it. Detox and Shocks, however, coming through with a few, as that will be 4 down. Mental, the only man left alive, and he will be silenced as well, as that is going to be a successful round win for Rise Nation. Their first round victory since round number 2, and boy, was that a big one.
Yeah, very, very long-winded round for how many points were actually put on the board. That kind of early stalemate. Almost kind of a chess match, right? Of determining where you're going to place your piece on the map and where that's going to affect on the other end. And
yeah,
again, it was Rise Nation who did come out on top, bringing this to a 3-3.
And what a huge one this is for Rise. I mean, you think about it.
Absolutely.
You win this round, you have 2 opportunities, right? You have 2 different rounds in which you can take it. Obviously, the same can be applied for NRG, but just in terms of the situation,
Rise are up 1-0. Of course,
right,
they're the underdog in this matchup.
Right.
And this is an opportunity now to really put yourself in a true position to win.
You can feel the intensity right now.
You see how much just slower they play on the initials now? Like
Oh,
just
yeah.
The tensions rise.
I'm sure there's I'm sure Ribs is sitting somewhere, probably sweating profusely at the moment. Shout out to Ribs, of course, but still, Rise Nation crew has looked phenomenal. Can they close it out? 2 more rounds to do it, and there goes Explosive and Summons. Summons finalized. The other has not been, however. No hill capped, but at least somewhat successful for Rise in terms of man count.
Yeah, good start in Shock. He's getting tagged up. Explosive so quick to capitalize on that. This NRG team is so fast, Land. You just saw the communication there. He gets ripped from up top, and Explosive is there in a heartbeat. His shot finishes him off. On the other end, looks like Avexi's getting involved too. Rise Nation a little bit exposed in the middle right now, yeah. Emergence getting caught in the back by Explosive once again. It continues to move forward. Unfortunate misroll. Detox makes him pay, but Mental's there for the trade. And Avexi's traded out as well in the back end. He gets one. Shot goes down. Big shot for Avexi's. It's unfortunately a reload. I don't think either have ammo. No! And Summons hits him with a 1-2 punch. Gets the down. Oh my goodness.
That is unbelievable. The intensity in that moment where nobody has ammo, but Summons, he had the switchblade.
Hits him with a little boom boom.
He did. A little quick jab and a hook just at the end. As NRG will reclaim control. Not a big lead by any means, but one that can turn into it. Here comes the flash, and Detox actually already taken down by the Lancer. Enzem playing the medic role now is also called upon to be the entry. Flashes are out aplenty. Avexi's has to go for the revive, and actually in the meantime also shuts down Praise. Summons, can he make the play happen again? Unfortunately not. Enzem will reign true and instantly focuses attention back toward E. A 3v1 where Mental unfortunately cannot survive for much longer either. NRG with the overall advantage, but Rise Nation a must in order for them to make this ending round close.
You saw how close they were Wolfpack there. They got every single revive off, and in the end, that's what helped them win that trade-off. We keep talking about how I'm so impressed with this team and how they're playing together, moving together. They got a number of revives there where NRG was in control, but Rise was instantly there for the chain revive, and then they got that one kill they needed. That let them move forward and take initiative. On the other end, Solars, it's a big kill onto Avexi's. Vix is there to clean it up. Rise about to take the time lead. They have E. They're continuing to hold it. Detox wins a big fight over Praised. And he gets a second onto Explosive. Can he do a third? Can he get the third kill onto him? Misses one. Hits the next one. And his teammate is there. Detox is continuing to play so big for this Rise Nation team. NRG currently with no hills to their name, but a Solars puts Drix and Detox on skates. Fortunately, it's a little bit for nothing, but at least we got a cool highlight out of it.
He said, hey, stop messing with my teammates.
While he's hitting them with the beatdown. Little flash in there. We talked about how important this round is for Rise Nation. You have the 1-0 map lead. You have now 2 rounds. You got to win one, and the tournament is yours. Do they show up to the occasion right now? Do they take this tournament? On the other end, NRG, they've been here before, of course.
Yeah.
No deficit is real when it comes to their eyes, and they need to chain 2 together now if they're going to have an opportunity to even move this to a 3rd map.
Like we said, for NRG, it's almost as if, like you said, this is just another round for them. It's almost as if the pressure doesn't even affect them. However, on the other side, mentally especially, the most difficult round of the tournament for Rise Nation can they overcome it? 29-11 for Detox, 27-14 for Emergence, 22-12 from Shock. I mean, literally just the score line's very impressive. But here we go. Can Rise Nation lock it up? New additions to their organization in just 1 week. Can they shut down NRG, the final boss of Gears of War, the last level? But can they accomplish it? And this is where the intensity starts to strike, as you called it a few rounds ago. This is when things start to slow down. This is when you really start to value every single step, every single input in the controller. You value every single bit. And of course, every player does not want to be the first person to drop either. You don't want to be the reason for the mistake, the reason why we lost a round. And Detox playing this angle ever so carefully. Both teams I mean, identical when it comes down to score. As E has yet to even be touched. No toe has dipped into it as of yet. I'm sure that's about to change.
Yeah, just thin ice all around. And even the two hill caps were the exact same time. So even if we go to that full 250 off this one, which we've seen very, very seldom, but once in a while it happens. I'm not even sure who would get the nudge. It might just be a tie. Of course, you got to imagine.
It looks identical, yeah.
Yeah, you got to imagine it's not going to get all the way there. It has in the past, but I don't see it happening here. One of these teams at some point has to take the initiative. You're going to see, I believe, Emergence and Drix both holding Incense. Solar's and Explosive on the other end with Incense of their own. Those Incense are going to likely be the catalyst if one of these teams can capitalize. Look how far back NRG's pushed. And there it is.
That's it.
Both Solars and Explosive put their Incense to use. Of course, they're going to be pretty quick spawns. Praising the kill feed, getting Drix. Shock's going to grab one. He's at least stay alive. NRG should give them control of this initial. They're going to get the E hill. They're going to take finally the lead after about a minute and a half of kind of a stalemated initial. Rise has a big counter push to make. Can they win those trades once again?
Oh my god.
Shock gets one. He gets one on the ground, and the Mistral comes in. They get all three. That's 4 dead for NRG in the blink of an eye. Shock with a big double. And his teammates there for the follow-up. Now they move forward. NRG will be off spawn momentarily. But now Rise control the 2-cap. Summons gets 1. Summons gets 2. And Summons gets 3. Ice in his veins as always. One big play, of course, deserves another. We have been delivered 2 beautiful back-to-back plays. Rise Nation forced to move back. Detox probably not even going to make it out of here alive. Inzem against Explosive. Can the Young Gun beat one of the best players of all time? In this fight, the answer is no.
There's Explosive, though. There goes Explosive. Shock still hanging around. Like we said, forces from either side currently deplenished. As there goes Mental. The firebomb just right after it, and he instantly starts to rotate over toward D. So Rise Nation looking for that double home hill. Imagine if Shock could come in clutch. They'd have all 3 hills to their advantage. Unfortunately, the player at D ends up falling, so they'll have to just settle for E. And it is going to work out in their favor. Shock comes through. There goes Summons as well. That's going to be 3 down for the moment. NRG, like we said, they're starting to bleed. Last round it was Summons who showed us it's not actually blood. It really is ice. But can they keep it up? Mental and Explosive, they take down 2. Emergence is on his final respawn. Drix shuts down Mental. Back and forth we go, 244. Rise Nation, can they hold? And it looks as if they might. It looks as if they will. One more player rushes in, but it's not enough. And Rise, the new changes to the organization are clearly working out well as they shut down NRG 2-0 and 5-3 here on Exhibit. What a sequence. What a moment here at the end. As we'll take a look at the highlights throughout this one. But Ryan, your thoughts? Rise Nation, we talked about it. They put themselves in a position where they were up 4 rounds to 3. They had 2 opportunities to lock this one up, and they didn't even need the second, despite the clutch plays from NRG. In our final round, Rise Nation fire back.
I loved the composure that this team showed towards the late stage of that round. Those are the times where NRG always seemed to thrive, but Rise managed to shut them down, rise up to the occasion, no pun intended. It almost looked like they took a page out of the NRG book and clutched up, made huge plays, even led up a big play after. It didn't stop them. They didn't tilt. They spawned back in. They won the biggest fights at the biggest times. Players like Inzem getting in there, the newest player to the team, the young player, the most inexperienced, showing up when it mattered the most to take home that tournament. This Rise Nation team, like you mentioned, have gone through a lot of changes as of recent.
Yeah.
They've had a rough, maybe even 6 months, I would call it. I'm not even sure how long you would call it, a rough time. They had a bad San Diego. They had a bad Pro League. They got home. They made a change. They picked up the next up-and-comer. They added who I think is the best coach in Gears of War. They added Ribs as an analyst who's, is okay. And then, but because of those changes, they look very, very strong as of right now. The work they've been putting in since San Diego clearly starting to pay off, and they beat NRG. Not only they beat them 2-0 in a grand finals. We don't see that very often.